Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fantastic day on planet Earth. I'm testing again. I put this saddle on, you know, the one that I made with the indicators and the brake lights and everything else. Well, let's just say it was probably the worst idea I ever had. Oh my god, is it uncomfortable. I honestly know how witches feel on broomsticks now. Imagine just sitting on a bloody pole. It's like that. It's the most uncomfortable piece of crap I have ever tried in my life. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to walk by the time I finish this ride. I want it to end now. It felt comfortable when I tried it, when I first invented it and reupholstered it and everything, and I'm going to try and find the Canal, a place that I used to go as a kid on the Canal, which is on the Canal. Hey, watch me foot, you dick. Oh, this saddle is ridiculously uncomfortable. I can't wait to get off. People in the UK, when they're watching this video, they're going to find it extremely boring, because this is the UK, and if you've lived here all your life, it's extremely boring. But the people in the rest of the world do like it because they've never seen the UK, or if they've never seen the UK, they really enjoy it. Isn't that what I just said? I am in a Mercedes. I can drive at 20 miles an hour if I so please. That's it. Make sure nothing's coming. Off we go. I can't sit behind him. Bloody hell, fire! Oh yes, get your knee down, son. I was there yesterday cleaning my bike, and a bird, I think it was a starling, flew out the sky straight into my car. I have never seen it dropped dead on the floor. I've never seen anything like that happen before. Scared the living crap out of me because I was right next to the car at the time, and it fell right next to me. Bloody suicide. Literally committed suicide. This is the steepest bridge ever, and there's, oh dear, oh, get up there, come on son, I've got a rattle. What the hell's that rattle? Where do I need to go? I need to get that way. Without going in the canal. Oh, come on, there you go. The canal. A very peaceful, tranquil and nice place to be. Full of people who are very peaceful and tranquil and nice to be with. Oh, this seat is the worst idea I ever had. Oh my god, is it uncomfortable. I may as well be sitting on a f***ing stick. You see, I spent most of the day cleaning it, and look at that. I've got to go through that. Oh no. Oh no. I'm going to have to clean it again. My BMS, the one that I received from China, the freebie, was faulty. I sent him an email and I said, it don't work. The problem was, which I'm glad I've got these problems so I can help people who've got the same problem if they have. It's called Tixel Wides because it's wide. It's the only place you can actually turn a longboat round like that chap's doing there. And those things, they only go 4 miles an hour. Imagine what a holiday's like. I mean, it's so tranquil being on a boat. Absolutely fantastically tranquil. Which in my time of life, that's the sort of thing that I like to do. 4 miles an hour. Or stupid speeds on this bike. Anyway, the BMS. A BMS was constantly discharging on cell number 11. And I found out that the resistors, the discharge resistors, number one, they burnt out on cell number 11. There's two of them. Two, I think they're 10 ohm resistors in series. Now on the underside there's a couple of transistors, or is it on the top side, I don't know, Y1 and Y2. Those had burnt out as well, so I had to replace those. Anyway, I fixed it. Everything was working perfectly. Discharge, charge, everything was working. And I emailed him and I said, there's a problem with the BMS and I've had to fix it. And the person I was chatting to said, oh, do you have a purchase order number? So that's a bit weird. Why would you ask me if I got a purchase order number when you sent it me for when you sent it me for nothing? And I said, I'm sorry, but no I don't. And that's all I did. I was busy at the time and that's all I said. And she said, okay, what's your address? I'll send you another one. It's a bit random. I'm sorry lads, but I think I've hit an all-time low in boringness on the video. Oh my arse. Oh, I'm never going to walk again. Somebody said that I should talk about this, about the good things and the bad things, and to be honest, there are no bad things. The only, well, sorry, start again. Somebody said that I should talk about the good things and the bad things about this bike. The bad things about this bike, or the only bad thing at the minute, is the saddle, which is the only thing that's on my mind, because it is the most uncomfortable thing I have ever sat on. Anyway, there's the saddle. As you can see, it nearly touches the fuel tank, the battery box. It's not the bloody most comfortable, in fact it's not comfortable at all. These locks, what you do is, you get your lock key, which goes on here, and you turn this handle, and it lifts that paddle in there. It lifts that bloody rod there, which has got they're called a sluice gate or something like that, which is actually in the lock gate itself. It lets all the water out of this lock. You run your boat in, you shut the gate behind you. Obviously you've got to shut the sluice gate, and then what you do is you go over to the other gate here, and then you fill it up with water. And then when the water's at equal height between the two, you can then open the gate. Otherwise you can't open it. And that gate will open that way. So there you have it. That's how a lock works. And that's the gatehouse. At some part of my life, probably a few times actually, we'll have come through this lock in our boat that my dad built. I mean, my dad was an absolute master at building things. My dad was the person as a kid that I looked up to, because he was taller than me. I still do. And my dad was, or my dad is, or used to be, a massive amateur radio sort of a buff. And the equipment he used to have, loads of knobs and switches and God knows what. Dad, I need you. How far is it till I can get off the bloody canal? Okay, I'm going to be honest. The things that I don't like about this, or the main thing that I don't like about this, is it's bloody uncomfortable. When I do version 4, which, and I'm committed to it now, I am going to do it. And I'm going to be 100% road legal. It's going to be built on a motorbike frame, as you know. It's going to be built on an off-road motorbike frame, to be more specific. And it's going to be comfortable. It's going to be 100% legal, and I'm going to do it so people can actually follow what I'm doing. Oh my God. What a house. I don't want the other house, that was the one I mentioned, I want that one. I could get up there. I don't know where there is though. Shall I go up there? I'm gonna regret this. Oh shit! Oh my god, that was close. Oh. That was near disaster. Oh, that's it. Cheers, mate. Oh, I want to be back on a motorbike, man. It's so much more comfortable than this. Believe me, this bounces the shit out of you. It ain't designed for doing this. I'm doing 50 mile an hour now, and it's jolting the shit out of me every bump I go over. And this is the softest the suspension will actually go. So there are downsides to it. If I was on a motorbike now, you know, with much more ample suspension and designed to actually absorb the bumps on the road, it's a hell of a lot better. But this 55 mile an hour, oh yeah, this is the downside of it. When I built it, I never used to talk about the downsides, and yeah, it has got downsides. For use on the road, it can get a bit bloody uncomfortable. Oh, and the steering as well. The steering starts twitching like it is now, and the back end starts twitching out. It does get a bit worrying when I'm doing 55 up here, and my arse is getting a bit. This wasn't built for speed. Well, no, it was. I don't know. I mean, I designed it. When I designed it, I built it with speed in mind. But the only downside is, at the end of the day, it's a push bike, and it'll never do it. It'll never have the speed. It'll never have the agility, it'll never have the handling of a motorbike. The positive sides of this, it'll beat anything off the lights. Absolutely everything. It doesn't matter what it is. Up to about 30 miles an hour, it'll just absolutely obliterate everything off the lights. The economy. You know, we're talking about a machine here that will do 1,000 miles to the gallon, or the equivalent of 1,000 miles to the gallon. It lifts the front wheel, no problem. It's got a massive amount of power. It goes like bloody stink. It goes round corners, lovely. Apart from when you're cornering, you hit a bump, and the arse end starts squirreling. It's a bit unnerving when that happens. On a motorbike, if you were to do that, I don't know if you can see it, but it wobbles. That's what happens when you go around a bend too fast. It starts wobbling, and I can't figure out why. Nothing seems loose, although this tyre is bloody hot. But it flexes. It honestly does flex. So you have to be very careful going around bends. I'm getting used to this saddle now, so I think what's happened is I've fractured my pelvis, so it's moulded itself around it, and it's starting to heal in that position. Because of the mass of the wheels on this, when you're doing speed, it does actually handle like a motorbike. Now when you're on a motorbike, if you ride motorbikes, you know about counter steering, and sometimes sometimes when you're on a motorbike, you don't realise that you're actually doing it. But if I go around a right hand bend, I generally tend to pull on the left bar, basically steering the opposite direction to make the bike actually lie down. Now it may seem counterintuitive, but that's the way you go around a bend on a motorbike at speed. When you're going really slow, no you don't. Woo! I wish I had a camera right the way back so you could see how squirrely this gets. How the hell is that battery not cut out? That is absolutely amazing. So with this thing, there's good and the bad. You know, it's free travel, but it's cold. There's no protection against any elements or anything else like that. It's very uncomfortable at times. Most of the time it's alright, but when you go over bumps like those, you can hear my voice start trembling. Yeah, there's a lot of downsides. There's a lot of good sides, you know, being free travel, free everything. It is fantastic for that. It's loads of fun. Shitloads of fun. Absolute shitloads of fun. It'll stop quicker than any car. I've got round about 600 brake horsepower per tonne. And you can imagine what sort of power that is. Well, you probably can't. We're talking McLaren territory, to be honest. I feel like someone's kicked me really hard in my bottom with a house brick. So if you want to build an electric bike, you've got to remember that it's a push bike. It's built as a push bike. It rides like a push bike, it handles like a push bike, but what you're trying to do is actually, you're trying to build something into something that it isn't. You know, so, but it's free, it's fast, it's fun, it's absolutely fantastic. And I wouldn't be without it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go back. I've got to go up here, go to the shop, and then I've got to turn around and go back. I've got to go this way anyway. I've just got to go past this garage because someone was quite excited because I drive past here. Can't remember what his name is. And remember, life is definitely worth living on this measly earth. All you've got to do is find out what makes you happy. Do it twice, 3 times, 10 times a day, every single day, and bollocks to what anybody else thinks.